All right, 6 o'clock. Everybody's ready? What do you say, Bill? Okay. Thanks for showing up here this evening, January 9th meeting. Call this meeting to order. Is there any agenda additions or deletions? Hearing none. Approval of the minutes of the regular meeting, December 12th, 2022. Is there a motion?
Have them looked them over, read them. I would make the move and reapprove them as presented.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. For the many workshops we had on the budget.
You
Okay,
missed that one.
I did. Oh, one eye. Thanks, Rod.
Yep. I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we go ahead and approve, I
Budget
glanced over,
workshop.
I thought the budget workshop looked good, so I'll make a motion, we go ahead and approve them as they are.
All
And I'll
right.
second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, Highway Road Commissioners report.
In front of you have copies from Camp Services for an estimate on the box culvert for Creek Road. And Katie can chime in anytime. There's a couple questions we have for you as a select board. The box culvert itself delivered with the wing walls is approximately $70,000. Okay. With that being said, our question to the select board here, myself, is through the engineering part, how much involvement do we want to have Tyler from East Engineering with the procedure of the bids, the bonds? How in depth do we want to?
How have we handled it in the past?
Honestly, I don't know. This is my first project.
I'm trying
My-
to think back, I think it's.
And Katie can fill in on that. He mentioned he would help us with a bid process, which I'm totally on board with that. Yes, it's gonna cost a little bit, but he knows all the functions.
Katie, what's determined the cost of having this guy come in and,
So, if you remember, we've already agreed, we paid him like $10,000 for, I think, design and permitting. So he just sent along an estimate for continuing the process with us, and it's like another $9,500, I believe. And that would be from now till the finished project. So, about $20,000 at the end. Your box culvert is $70,000, about, so that brings us to $90,000. And then the grant is for $180,000. So I would say what's left over is what's going to go out to bid, and we don't know what that's going to be. So
Keep in mind too, we have a 10% of town share in this of the 180, so it's at least 18,000. The only thing that wasn't in that his proposal is the right-of-way easements, which is $125 an hour. That's on top of the 9,500.
what he would do?
If we wanted to have him do the right-of-way easements, they can't be that hard. There's only one landowner.
I was gonna say, it's one landowner on both sides, isn't it?
Yeah.
Turk.
Yeah.
Lester owns everything right there.
Yep.
So I think that'd be a fairly easy, smooth transaction. I don't know if you got a file or how that works. I would think it's just a sign off.
So,
Have him for liability for insurance and stuff like that.
yeah, the other thing that, where my mind goes with it, and you can agree or disagree depending on if I'm way off base or not, but by having an engineer involved, it it's got to offer us a certain level of protection.
Yes.
If something goes totally sideways, it's really on him instead of not really being on us, in my mind.
With that being said, he will actually be somewhat at the job site, not all the time, but he would do,
Making sure that it's going the right,
Yeah.
making sure it's being done
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing
Yeah.
inspections
Okay.
and stuff.
especially at setting of the precast.
I think, well, the way I feel is like, I don't know what I'm doing, and this is our first time doing this together, so I would feel much comfortable having an engineer alongside, especially if there's room within the grant.
I can't see how we would have had it done any differently in the past. This board has never had an engineer.
I don't remember us doing.
Bronson.
Yeah, but I don't remember us doing structure. I think this is one of our first structure grants. I don't remember
I feel like
since
they've-
I've been here.
The rest of them been bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bridges.
Well, yeah, we've done bridges, but
That's
what I'm talking about is like I don't remember doing this size of a project on our like for our own stuff. Like, I mean, I know we've talked about it because we talked about. Didn't we talk about the bridge on Moulton Avenue at one point and never did it?
Yeah, never done it. The only one I can think of, and I don't believe we had an engineer with them, was by Chambers. And that was quite a number of years ago now.
Yeah.
That was done.
Is that the dry bridge that people talk about?
No.
No.
The
I
little
thought there was
brook.
one down on Middle Road that Dave Potter
That-
talked about.
Boy, the Chambers Bridge must have been before me because
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was,
remember doing that.
Dave Potter was still on the board.
Yeah, I
at
think
that
Dave
A
was
long time
on.
ago.
And I'm trying to think who was it Ralph still chairman?
No, I don't think Ralph was here then.
I want to say it was because that's we were relatively new on the board then.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think which one was done first, that one or the Adams Bridge. I think the Adams Bridge was done first, so that could have been Ralph very
Well, I
easily.
remember the
Well,
Adams
that-
Bridge being
In
done.
that case, Adam Bridge is a lot better shape than the Chambers Bridge, as far as I'm concerned.
I think you're finding it's opposite.
I think it's
Yeah,
the
that
opposite.
could be
the
too.
Adams
I'm
Bridge got done. Got
I'm
done
not 100%
most
sure.
recently.
Brook, right?
But-
Yep. Well, for the sake of discussion, I'll make a motion that we go ahead and continue on with East Engineering and sign this agreement.
I'll second.
Is there any further discussion?
Are you, well, I just want to clarify for the whole, from here to the end of the construction?
Well, I can amend it a little bit because I don't know how much he's really going to have to be involved in the easements.
As far as the easements,
There shouldn't be
one
much.
landowner and
Yeah.
basically a couple hour worth of paperwork and sign in, document or whatever, and it's $125 an hour, and
Would our lawyer do that otherwise? Or how does that work? With these?
actually it's cheaper to hire him for.
It's probably
let-
cheaper.
let
So
him
yeah,
do
let
it.
him. So
Yeah,
I
let
guess
him do it.
I'm saying let's approve it as is, including the whole. I mean, we've already done step 1 and 2. You're saying, so that's already done.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is go ahead and approve the 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
And it looks
Just the
like
select board chair, right?
yep. And I'll amend it to say that the chairman can sign on behalf of the board.
My second still stands.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? All right. Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? I'm gonna pass that over to me. Is that it right here?
Continue on with this discussion. You have the price of the box culvert before you. In talking with Tyler, he said sometimes the contractor pays for the box culvert or the town can pay for the box culvert. So I think we kind of need to decide which route we're going to go there as well.
I have an opinion on that.
Get it ordered and get it coming.
Get it ordered, get it coming, or get it. Had quite a conversation with them about that too, with Mark.
Yeah.
They will actually would get it ordered. We buy the culvert. It sits in their yard until the day it's ready to be set. I asked him about even getting it down there and put it off the side of the road, and after discussion, he'd rather not handle it more than once, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because of liability of cracking and chipping, and that's happened.
Yeah.
So your suggestion is to go with this, then get it ordered and start getting it made.
Yep.
Because it's got to be made.
And they'll make it. They got a heated shop up there, big, whatever. Actually, I'm going to Milton tomorrow, actually Colchester, and
Get a
I
truck.
might, if they're close, I'll look on my GPS, if they're right there close by, I might swing in there. We gotta go up and pick up the Western Star, 'cause that, there's the modulars all fixed in it, so we had issues with that.
So I'll make a motion that we go ahead and officially sign the documentation to order the box culvert from camp. I don't know.
And the town pays for it. I
Yep.
gotta find out from Camp Mark of when his time frame is to be
Mm-hmm.
paid for.
I don't see any place to sign this, but whatever we have to do to,
We can pay for it? Okay.
whatever we have to do to get it ordered.
Right.
That's
'Cause
my motion.
That's one of the drawbacks right there, is they're so busy. And if we get it
Get it in the production.
production line, and by March it's made and sitting in their yard, and
You
then
know you're not gonna have to wait for it.
even sits there for 2 months or whatever.
Yeah, we get a discount if we pay early?
And when they come,
Should have bought it 5 years ago.
Yeah.
they come
Yeah,
to
I
do that. It's
Where-
gonna be
where's
a couple
the-
day project, or they do it one day. I guess what I'm asking,
don't
how
know
much of
if
the road can be shut down, or don't you know?
I'm not sure what
Doesn't
I'm
look like there's
feeling
anything
that the road's gonna be shut down
Oh.
about 3 weeks.
But I'm looking at this stuff, and this has nothing to do with it.
A little
Yeah,
longer than I thought.
Excavating, hopefully 2
I
weeks.
think it's at the way. It might be at the back of
It
the
depends on the contractor or the equipment.
Yeah, okay.
On this, Katie?
Yeah, your copy might be. If not, I can give you this one.
There's nothing to sign anyway. There's nothing to sign for this one.
Be honest with you, we ran a big excavator, go buy a big squash culvert, 6-foot squash culvert, hammer that thing out in a week. We could do it ourselves, but it's a liability.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's no different than the big culvert that got put in just past Johnson Farm.
Can't lay 2 planks across the,
To the
Really?
south side, you mean?
North side of the barn of the driveway.
Yeah.
Of the barn driveway,
Oh,
between,
okay.
between the 2 houses, just north of that.
There's one there.
Yeah, Norm put that in, Dana Allard and stuff. Like,
There is a big one there.
it's no different what we're doing. And that there's probably a 4.5-foot squash culvert somewhere in there.
Katie, you want to read back that motion?
Right now I have Selectman Connie motion to order the box culvert from camp. I should probably add in that price. And have the town pay for it and do whatever we have to do to get it made.
Right, and it's been seconded.
Who seconded it?
nobody did. I will.
Art
Art did.
seconded, didn't he?
I will.
So, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Sounds like we got a whole bunch of ayes.
Now we're on the 3rd, 4th piece.
So, part of the contract that we need to figure out is whether you guys want any kind of like bond assurance on the project. We talked to Tyler last week on the phone, and he explained that you can either do no bond or you can do a bid bond, which I don't know if you guys know what that is, but he said every contractor that would submit a bond also submits a company check, and we would hold it, and then once we decide on the contractor, then we keep that check until the project is done, but we don't cash it. It's basically just an assurance if they bulked on it. And then the other type of bond is a payment and performance. And this is the type that they have to like get from their insurance company. And he said it adds about 1.5 to 3% to the overall project cost.
So when the
Or
engineer
you can-
goes out with bids, he has to put that in his, asking that in
Basically,
the
when they
resume.
submit their bid, they need to include that.
If
And that's what we need to know from you guys, what you would prefer.
If we as a select board require that. My thought is if we hire a good contractor that's reliable, they're gonna do the job, but
Who picks the contractor? The contractor, us?
Yeah, Tyler will like look over the bids with us, but ultimately, like, you guys will pick.
Well, I mean, I would expect this is going to go to one of probably the three names come to my mind, but probably one of the bigger.
That depends on, you know, the pricing. and stuff.
I guess if we were gonna do it, I guess I'd go. Seems to me like the least painful for contractors, the first option.
The bid bond.
Yeah,
That to me seems like because it's less of a rigmarole for them to have to go to their insurance company and get a check, and especially if we're gonna go with one of those companies, all three of what the three that are in my mind, we've worked with in
before.
town before anyway.
Yep.
So I don't see it as being a reliability issue.
No.
Yeah, as long as we don't go with the Kevin Construction Company.
Well, that's the thing is like you're kind of putting it out to everyone. So
You could buy a bigger Kubota.
I know. Bigger shovel. I guess I'd make a motion that we go with the bid bond process.
all right, is there a second for discussion?
I'll second.
All right, is there any further discussion? Yes?
is there a certain amount, like for the check that you want to hold? Like I think he mentioned on the phone call, cash like 20,000.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah.
That sounds reasonable.
20% of the
mean-
project cost.
Basically, it's 20% of his actual work, construction part. Nothing
Correct.
to do with the materials.
True.
With the
Right.
culvert.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same
So,
token though.
say the bids come in at 100,000 or 90,000, whatever.
Yeah, I'd say 20,000.
20,
I don't want to scare the contractor.
You don't want to scare them away. Yeah, but I go with 20.
Yeah, but your big contractors are used to that.
Yeah.
Plus the bonds on top of that a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say 20.
So do you want me to include that in your first motion or amend it?
You can whatever you want to do. You can include it in the first motion if you want,
And then
as long as Bob's good with it.
That's fine to me.
All right. There's been a motion made, seconded. We've had a lengthy discussion. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
So I think from here, we are gonna talk with Tyler, get the box culvert ordered, and then hopefully hold a pre-bid conference.
And he
That's-
said that he's coming to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it in the contract, I believe it states that the pre-bid meeting is like mandatory. Like if you go to the meeting, if you don't go to the meeting, you can't submit a bid.
Yep.
So is that good with you guys if we set a date and get things rolling?
And actually,
Get it rolling.
it'll be a site visit too.
Yeah.
I was going to say they'll meet right over there, won't
Yep.
they?
Yeah.
This isn't even going to get started till the
Like-
spring though. Anyway.
Like, oh yeah, it can't be done till spring.
Yeah.
I'd like to do it sooner than later because of the weather we got. Everything's bare, no snow.
No,
Everything's
no frost.
See what it
see
is.
everything. And with that being said, the tree got removed there. That was asked to be removed this morning. So we don't have to worry about the extra permits.
Oh, good.
For bats.
Good.
Only the mice.
All right. Any more questions about the box culvert? Guardrails.
On the guardrails, actually, had Mike go down and look one day. He didn't have much to do that day. On South Creek Road, by the ledges, there are all the cable guardrails, and what's happening is some of the trees are coming off that ledges stuff and smashing them, and cars have hit them, and the posts are all rotten. That's a dangerous corner because out of creek right there. My suggestion is to get Lafayette and to install a new guardrail through there, the plank guardrail. With that being said, I went ahead and took it on my own to call Lafayette, talk to Kevin up there, and they got a project they got to look at in D&B, and so when they're down this way, they're gonna stop and look at that project just to give us an estimate. What scares me is the Alphresia Bridge, of how much that cost. I don't have a clue. 15, 20,000 or something like that. That's what bothers me. I don't know.
They
I have no idea.
We have some money in the guardrail.
Yeah, but not like that.
No.
not much, but we did. I mean, years ago, and I don't know post COVID if they're back to having used ones that they'll sell us or not. I mean, that's what we did before.
state-
The issue is is the bridges require the thicker panels,
Yeah.
which aren't, you can't find them used. I don't know if they'll consider that corner with the Otter Creek right there.
It'll have to be the heavier duty.
Heavy, I don't know. That's,
Do I dare ask if we can lengthen them out and eliminate a dumping spot in the process?
it'd be nice, but we actually use that for a turnaround for the town trucks when we do the dirts.
Oh.
Is there a chance
I'd love
that
to.
you could talk to
Um,
the state and see if they have used guardrails? I mean, we've done that before.
I'll Menden and Keith over here, Brad.
Yeah.
Check
Ask
that and
them.
see.
I can ask them. Another section that needs attention for guardrails is Wilder's Bridge up there before Chapman's. On that corner, the
Yeah.
old bridge. That bridge should be replaced, my opinion.
That bridge is on the list for next year, next couple of years.
Couple
isn't it?
years out, isn't it? Yeah.
No, Alphresia was. And that's where we jumped onto it. Said, look, you better go look at that bridge. So we're trying to flip-flop them. And ain't heard nothing.
Really? Because when we got told that back when Daryl was still on, that was slated for like 25 or 26.
25, 26, somewhere
Really?
in there, yeah.
That's what we got told back then. If
Yeah.
you dig back through the minutes, I guarantee you'll find it.
Yeah.
That Daryl was still.
So,
Because we met with Devin probably like a year ago,
mm-hmm.
and it was about this like planning process for bridges. And
It was after the state did that full assessment of all the bridges after Irene, and we got a list.
Yeah.
And they brought it to a meeting, and I'm positive that was listed for like 2025 or 2026.
The only trouble is with that list,
They have gone through and reevaluated. I mean, they do periodic reevaluations.
That's what
as
they
well
did,
to
and they-
re-
And they reorganized them.
yeah,
Yeah.
they keep changing that list.
And they wanted to straighten that out. and
Yeah.
take the turn.
Yeah, because they talked about straightening it
Right.
in the process.
well, Cash had mentioned that too when we talked about
Yeah,
this
but
last
the state talked to us about it with when Daryl was still.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it was mind-blowing to me that they wanted to do Alphresia Bridge in 2026.
Huh.
And that's where Katie and I notified them, said, look, you better be getting up to Wilder's Bridge instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So that
good.
bridge, the guardrail post, it's all cable. They're rotted.
Yep.
They're
Yeah.
breaking off. The steel's showing.
Hmm.
All the rebar.
The problem with that is,
So
like,
I don't know if that's something we want to plank that bridge for the time being. The beauty of that is we can still use the plank for the new bridge if we put a new bridge up.
Oh, yank it off and
Yep.
save it.
Just like Alphresia Bridge, when we did one side. I think that looks great over there.
trouble is that bridge got a curve in it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
if you're using what you're suggesting, that's not going to be too efficient, is it? Because of the curve in the road?
Make it work. Yeah, you're gonna have a couple panels that are gonna have a thing on it, but it's fairly straight. When you first turn in that bridge, you're turning, then it straightens out somewhat.
On the,
But my suggestion was too is now that we all know that Ami owns that property right there, is to contact them and see if we could actually move that whole brand new bridge over there. Leave the old bridge there for temporary bridge while they're doing construction on a new bridge,
And move it a little farther to the south, what you're talking?
Yep.
Yeah.
and straighten it out.
Then you straighten out coming off in that curve from up.
Because Amia does
By
on the
Chapman's.
south,
That's why I've
on
been
the south
told.
side.
There's quarries in there, and
wouldn't that affect what's her name's bed and breakfast there? If you tried to do that?
No.
No,
she's
it's after
too far
that.
up the hill. So my, the thing is, there you're looking at the same prices we did over there, if not a little bit more for.
Well, I mean, what's at this point? You're really in the. If they're in town, they give you a price, and then we go from there, right?
Mhm.
And I wouldn't be afraid to rattle the state's cage again about that bridge too.
Mhm.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? I mean,
Yeah.
We get our
I mean, I don't see
representatives working on it.
nothing wrong with Alphresia Bridge.
compared to no, yeah, I mean,
I mean, that thing's nice shape. I'm not an engineer for the underlayment, but I've been under it in years past, ramming over there.
Yeah.
Is that bridge old? Elfresia Bridge older than this one?
No, the one over there is the older.
No, I'm talking about the crossroad over here. I mean, this one was done
Oh.
in the 80s, right?
This is most recent.
Yeah,
This is the most recent
Yeah.
in the 80s.
Oh, this one here, yeah.
I'm thinking Alphresia was done probably in 1967, 66, because my father was lieutenant and drove the Mack with no cab on it, with a picture of him on it, when the bridge was brand new.
Yeah, you're right in that area, give or take a year.
I was getting shot at back there. I was ducking bullets.
There was the historical page, Phil Mandelier's thing. They posted something to the effect of that was prior to that bridge still was one of the wooden bridges, and they replaced it with
Yep.
the concrete.
Yeah, it was a wooden bridge.
Wow, that was a long time.
Yeah, they said
That was
they,
one of the last wooden bridges of the flat bridges
to be
Yeah.
to
replaced.
replace.
Yeah. Single lane?
Well, I mean, like you say, get a price
I
and
just
see what
get
they say.
prices and we'll go from there.
Well, but the guardrails things, you're gonna follow up on that and see,
Well, yeah,
asking the state and
yeah.
get as
Yep.
much
Check with
information.
Lemon too, whatever happened with that.
What's that? Oh, on the bridge replacement. Yeah.
And Cash, while you're on the subject of that corner down there on the creek road, is that ledge still moving any, or is that pretty much kind of
I think
laying?
it's pretty sad.
I drove
Ah,
by it the other day
flat.
and looked, and I don't think it's moved.
Maybe one of my guys was worried about last year and says, "Oh, look, that moved a lot." I don't think it has.
No, last time I was.
There's no way other than painting the darn thing and see if we got cracks.
Yeah. No, it looked to be about the same to me, but
We haven't had any frost this year to push it, so.
yeah,
Right.
true.
Wouldn't think so.
True. It's when you get the water in there, get the
Knock
cold.
on wood there.
I know. I know.
The other thing is, I mean, what bothers me if we put new guardrails through there, we got all those hanging trees. I hate to have them hanging trees come down and smash the guardrails.
We rent a bucket truck and we go down there and cut tops out of them.
We could, but we'll have to be certified
Like, what do you mean, sir?
if we do the work. Unless we hire somebody,
Bring a tree company and
bring a
strip
tree
it.
company in, and let them go around that corner. We could help them with chip and brush or whatever.
What certification do you have to have to
To go
jump
up
in
the
a
air,
bucket truck and?
all the harness, point system and everything.
Yep.
And we
Or
can
is
get
cheap.
certified, because we talked to Wade about it. Moving on.
Yeah. Certificate of highway mileage.
No change, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Make a motion that the certificate of highway mileage be approved
All the troops.
with all the select board members.
Yes. But if she wants to sign it
You
tomorrow.
in South Park, I'll watch this.
All right.
You get out there and measure those miles, dear.
All those in, is there a second to the motion?
I'll second that.
All right. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Katie's got the wheel in the corner.
I want a picture of that.
Do a good job. MRGP, notice of interest.
Notice of intent.
That too.
Bob did.
Bob,
I did.
We don't have a choice, so.
Yeah, this is our 5-year permit is up, and this is the paperwork needed to do another 5-year stint. There is a $640 fee attached.
of course.
Basically, if we don't sign it, we're not eligible for the funding to do the projects that are required. So
You gotta all sign it.
I would recommend signing it. Makes my job easier.
Carrot and stick.
All right, and it looks like just the, board chair.
So moved.
Go ahead, Mike.
All those in favor to so move and go ahead,
No, I think
say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I'll jazz it up.
Okay, anything else under roads? You have anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay,
Yay.
I'll just
Do you want to come sign it too,
Here,
Gloria,
'cause
while
it
we're
makes
right
more
here?
We got reimbursement for both the grants on Tier Road, just as an FYI.
On the back side, you mean?
and today is one. All right. Approval of the select board warrants. Select board. They're floating and drifting someplace. I don't know.
Right here.
Okay. All right, any old business or public comments? I'm sorry.
Guests first.
There's no guest, unless you want to be a guest.
I'm all set.
Okay,
Personal.
okay.
I know. Interesting person.
Very nice. Sounds like, sound like it's a throwback to your other job. Now, public comments.
Well, he's the only public. You got any comment?
Old business. Any old business? Anybody want to bring anything up? New business. Ballot article language.
I provided you all, thanks to Gloria, what you may need to have the article written as for the ballot, if you guys decide to do that. Clarendon Communities Building Fund, and I would ask that you guys kind of finalize that so that I can have the warning ready for you for the next meeting.
You want to read this for the
I
public
don't have
camera?
it in front of me. If you want to read it, you can.
I tweaked the first one already. I've got a proposed change to the first one already.
All right, why don't you go
I
ahead.
can-
You want to say it?
So the first one, as it's written on the page, this is how I would tweak it a little bit, just to make sure that it's clear. Shall the town establish a reserve fund to be called the Clarendon Municipal Buildings Reserve Fund to be used for maintenance and rehabilitation of municipal structures in accordance with 24 VSA 2804.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
like
I would throw that out for discussion, because I think it's got to be tweaked, because you want to make sure that it's the municipal building, I mean, that it's,
Did you write that down?
Not just any Clarendon building.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm gonna need you to repeat it.
Need me to repeat it? So if you've got your sheet, you can just tweak it just a little bit. So shall the town establish a reserve fund to be called the Clarendon Municipal Buildings Reserve Fund?
Wait, Clarendon.
Municipal.
I can't hear very well tonight, so you'll have to forgive me. Okay, Clarendon Municipal.
Buildings Reserve Fund.
Okay.
To be used for maintenance and rehabilitation of municipal structures in accordance with, and the number doesn't change, it's still as it is, 24 VSA 2804.
Want to read that back, Katie?
Shall the town establish a Clarendon Municipal Buildings Reserve Fund to be used for maintenance and rehabilitation of municipal structures in accordance with 24 VSA 2804?
All right, that's some,
You got it.
all right. You like it, Art, right?
Yeah, I like it.
All right, then, I don't know that we wanna have a motion, just,
It's gotta be voted on with the article, or with the whole
yeah,
warning anyway.
Right.
so that sounds good, good job.
And then, did you need to, like, there's that second question there. Do you want to have that?
We're not gonna appropriate any funds this year anyway, we're just gonna transfer, right?
So my question becomes this. You didn't have to go to the voters, or you chose not to go to the voters to ask for what you were going to do with the money that you gave to the fire department. So because it was voted on in intent in a meeting to move that money to the general fund with the intent to put it into this municipal buildings fund once it's established by the voters, why does that need to be then on the ballot as well?
Because technically that ARPA money is in the general fund offsetting expenses.
That's, yeah, it's sitting in the general fund right now.
Per the statute that allowed us to do that.
Right.
So we were.
Well, you'd have to change this appropriate, cause it's already appropriated, to, basically a transfer.
Right, but what I'm saying is, does it even really need to be on the ballot? Again, you chose what to do with $300,000 of it for the fire department without putting it on a ballot. So why are you going to put it on the ballot to take that money to put it into a fund that, do you know what I mean?
You could do it like next year when you're gonna ask the voters maybe to put in some money.
Well,
Ask that kind of
I mean,
It
the
would
money
be in the budget.
right. I mean,
Future.
if you're gonna raise money in the future, like you do for the other reserve funds, yes, because you're gonna be raising that in taxes. But this is something that we already have. We're a holding. So
Yeah.
I mean, you're basically, if you do put something on, you're just asking permission to transfer money.
Well,
We don't
from-
usually ask the voters via a ballot to transfer money from one account to
No,
another.
so that's
So
kind of
I
what I'm
Essentially
getting
what
at.
we're
So I don't think we need that.
I don't think you would have to do a second article. I think you've just got to establish the
Yeah.
fund, and then after the fund's established, we make the transfer.
Right.
Just feed it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And if the voters don't establish the fund, it's going to just jack the fund balance,
yeah, and then you guys are gonna need to figure out
and
what
then
you're
you
gonna,
figure out what to do.
right.
That's obviously that would be after July 1.
Yeah.
Right.
But
And if we don't have that second one, if we put the second one in there and they don't establish the first one,
Right.
then we don't have to worry about the second one.
Right.
You know.
Well, and I
say we
just
leave it
feel
out.
like by putting it on there as well, it's very misleading because it makes it would lead me to think that you were going to raise that amount in taxes,
Right.
which
Yeah.
that's not the case.
Right.
I think that's
Think
why
it's
it was
good.
there, in case you wanted to raise it in taxes.
Okay.
That's,
So
what,
like going
that's what I'm thinking.
for like going forward
Yeah.
in future
Yeah.
years.
That's what
Okay.
my thought.
so going forward, we would utilize that to have a ballot
Like any other,
article
like-
to raise money to go into it.
Yeah, like we do with the bridge
Sometimes you'll
fund.
establish a fund and ask the voters to put money in, which we're not going to.
Right.
We just
Not
wanna-
this time, yeah.
Just
Right.
want to establish a
We
fund
We want to
this
just be allowed to establish it.
time. Usually they go together, but I don't think we
So basically, we're gonna keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We just need
don't
to
wanna
establish.
Don't
the
want to
fund.
confuse it.
Don't
We need to
confuse it.
ask the voters to establish the fund.
Yeah, established fund. Then next year,
Then
if you were to
ne-
put something
then
into it,
next
then you'd
year-
have to.
In the next budget, you could technically raise
You'd have
some
to go
money
for
if
that,
you
yeah.
needed to.
Start
Right.
feeding it if you'd like to.
Yeah.
Through the voters.
All right. So we're good there.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll try to have I will have the wording ready for you for the next meeting.
Won't be here.
The 23rd?
Partying it up.
I will be in Florida.
Be with the
Oh.
mouse.
Be with the mouse.
The land of the mouse.
Big mouse.
The mouse house.
Well, I prefer Goofy, but
We can. It'll go out via email before anyway.
Yeah.
So if you have any,
Yeah, Matt's going too, so Goofy will be there.
All right,
It'll
let's,
go out via
let's-
email. So you
let's
can
move
bounce
along.
us an
Additional
email if there's
ARPA money.
something wrong with it.
All right, so I'll tackle this one. There were 2 municipalities in the state that didn't accept the ARPA money. So the state of Vermont was required to reallocate those funds. And our portion of that we received already was $170.06.
Which town did not?
I'm not sure.
I am really curious.
two-
Which
so
town
two
did
towns.
not
Two of 'em?
take that money?
Yeah, there are 2 towns.
they're crazy.
So we have $170.06.
How many towns in the state? There's like 214 towns right now.
Yeah.
But if it's only that, it had to be a couple of small towns.
254.
They couldn't have been very big.
Right, but you have to figure it had to be
A little bit helps.
reallocated through the rest of the towns that did choose to take money. So there were towns that were much smaller that ended up not getting any of this additional money. But we ended
Based
up,
on population, right? So,
yeah.
like,
like
Rutland
town-
City got more than we got
Yeah.
for when they reallocated it.
So I'll make a motion
That's
that we go
funny.
ahead and transfer the additional money into the general fund to offset expenses
Which
Thank
is a
you.
balance of $175.
of $100 and whatever dollars.
$170.06.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Everybody signed that, that's good.
God, I think we're finally done with ARPA again.
Yeah, you thought that the first time, right?
I know.
I
Yes,
am
except
really
for the
curious.
Heidi, do you have anything you wanna
Foolish.
comment on?
Be a couple of the
I don't.
small ones.
Yeah.
Katie, do you have anything?
I have something for you.
Uh-oh.
Sure.
So I am kind of keeping a list of policies that are becoming outdated in Clarendon. And I think the last couple external audits we've had, our purchasing policy has not been really adequate for what we're doing now. So I'm wondering if you guys want to have policy workshops and tackle the purchasing policy first. My idea, I think VLCT has a model policy, and then I would collect policies from other towns around us and kind of go from there.
Why don't you do that? And then when you get as much as you think you can get, and then let's schedule we'll ask the question then, and then schedule a meeting or a workshop just dedicated to that.
Well, so
Well, how
here's-
many other policies?
That's what I was going to say. How many
let's-
are we talking?
Well, there's some garage policies that me and Cash need to go over, and then I would say they just need your approval after we gonna get them underway. Those are like OSHA requirements. And let's see, I had a list somewhere.
Because I'm wondering
Well,
if it might be more effective to our agenda, add an item to our agenda, and we just tackle one policy a meeting for the next 5 meetings.
well, so right now, the two is the purchasing and then getting the appropriations policy set for, I think you wanted it ready for like July.
Oh, you mean for ballot article items?
Yeah. So those are the two major ones. And I haven't really looked anymore because I figured those two would take some time.
I mean, I think that if you did one in a meeting, I think you could tackle one. Like, obviously, like you said, there's some homework that's got to be done before we're ready to tackle them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's I think it would take a day to email surrounding towns and for them to get back to me.
Okay, so let's
So
let's concentrate on the ones most needed updating. And as soon as you get some information on that, then let us know and we'll put it on an agenda as Robbie is.
So do you want to do it within a meeting?
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I like that idea too. Let the public know how we're changing our policies rather than a workshop.
I don't think it. I mean, if we were going through the last time we did that, we went
Yeah.
through the whole policy
Yeah.
manual when Heather was here, and it
Oh.
took us like 5 policy meetings to do it,
Yeah.
and we did the whole book over the course of like 5 or 6 meetings.
Okay.
So I would say,
So is there an updated purchasing policy?
I don't know, but back when she was here, we did the whole book.
Okay. then I'll look for that one.
Do some homework.
Yeah, that's good to know.
You use Robbie's analogy.
Is there like a preference? Would you rather do the appropriations per articles, ballots, whatever first?
I think your purchasing is probably first. Because you got more time on, I mean, purchasing, if we update it, it's going to take effect immediately. I mean, appropriations is a whole year, almost a year out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if we could have the, I mean, yeah, sounds good.
Gloria, I'm sorry.
So maybe, I mean, I feel like I have kind of a bit of work before the next meeting, so maybe in the first February meeting we'll start.
That would work.
Gloria, do you have anything you'd
No, I have nothing.
say? Cass, you have any concerns?
I'm all set.
Bob?
I'm all set.
Me too.
All set.
I'm good.
So moved.
Those
Second.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?